Welcome to the broadcast, my fruits. It's confirmed. They're out. Out of Frogmore, evicted. Ne'er to return, fingers crossed. Taking all their possessions with them. Because tomorrow was the deadline, the 6-month deadline to Vermouth, and they are out. Taking all their possessions, their ginger furballs, Megan's cookie crumbles, everything with them. Where will they stay when they return to the kingdom? Will their father and father-in-law have the good grace to host them at one of his many residences within the kingdom? Who will rent Frogmore now that it's been elevated to their specifications and had a bit of a glow-up? We shall see. But moreover, what is their endgame? What is their endgame? Or could certain people be talking about what is their Majesty's endgame? The royal family's endgame? Oh, all the cards are on the table, but the decks are hidden from view as the endgame is being played out. Well, if the endgame was to establish the Duke and Duchess of Sussex as a force to be reckoned with, as the new royals of Montecito, and in fact to ruin the reputation of the Wales family and the royal family and drag it down to elevate themselves while deprecating and humiliating the rest of the family, if that was their end game. Really, you tried to go there, my dear. The girls want a battle. The girls want a battle. Well, the girls be going through the gigs, my dear. Going through the gigs because the royal family star only climbs and ascends into the galaxy, into the firmament. While their gong show, their gong show just keeps getting more and more like an episode of I Love Lucy in its hilarity. It's raspberries for the Harkles. Yes, the royal family, conversely, are being showered in more affection than ever. Showered in affection. The crowds in a frenzy, in raptures. Even this morning, Prince William, William, chanting the names through the roof. Everything they've tried to do is have the exact reverse effect than what they tried to hustle and bustle for. Yes, Catherine too. The children love her. Children of all colours, might I add. They didn't all drink the Kool-Aid. They didn't all buy the lie. No, they didn't. And even the king and the queen, they're most firm fans under the age of 10 years old. Have you noticed? Whether it was in Ireland last month or last night at the animal ball. Wherever they go, everybody crawling over hot coals to get a glimpse of them, to get a shake of the hand. The king touched me. Camilla touched me. The royal effect, the royal magic, wasn't tarnished by those two, in fact. Not that I credit them with anything. I wouldn't credit them with a credit on the Archetypes podcast because they had very little involvement with it other than turning up for 12 hours. Meghan, I wouldn't credit them with anything, but all of their disparagements only proved to elevate the royals. Oh, it must be an absolute bellyache for them, mustn't it? A bellyache. That's what just desserts do to the Constitution, Harkles. That is what the taste of just dessert pudding does to the bile of the Constitution. Vomitus! Nausea-inducing. Nobody fell for it. The whole world is just falling in love with the king and queen in a way that they never even probably would if you hadn't done your worst to set a fire under them and watch as the royal family burned and melted. Who could destroy its beautiful wickedness? No, the royal family were never the Wicked Witch of the West, as you tried to portray them and the late Queen Elizabeth and her lifelong Commonwealth legacy. No, we all saw exactly who the wicked wizard and witch were. And here's a clue. One is a ginger, one is a whinger. One is a puke rather than a duke. One is a not muchess instead of a duchess. Neither will be king or queen or prince or princess of Wales. No, because those roles are taken, my dear. The position has been filled. Do you hear me? The position has been filled. So go feed the birds twopence a bag, my lovers, with your loose change, your Judas coins. So craftily earned those Judas coins for betrayal of their majesties. It's raspberries for you, my dear. The rest have been having a jolly time. And we'll go into it more detail and more seriously, or should I say more soberly, because I never am particularly serious. But for today, we are kikiing and having some fun, my dear. I'm not promising you anything of substance, just a kiki. I'm going through the gigs too, as it happens. I'm going through the gigs. So, you can take it or leave it. And have you noticed the curtsies have been off the charts for the royals? The curtsies, the deep curtsies. People, I'm going to whisper it, people are enjoying King Charles and Queen Camilla. Some of them a little bit more than the late Queen Elizabeth. Yes! Yes, they are. And that is not to disparage the name of our late hero. No, it is not. It is merely to say that there is a new flavour in town and it tastes pretty good. There was something wonderful about her flavour and how everyone was on best behaviour when she was around, and everybody still respects Charles and Camilla, but there is a bit more sauce in the air, a bit more modernity, but no less deference. This is what I've noticed. Everybody is still eager to shower them with praise. And I'm talking about people, not just stuffy old white men of the establishment, no. But people of all stripes, creeds and colours, falling over themselves. Their Majesty, Your Majesty, wonderful to meet you. Shower them with praise. Deep, deep curtsies. Gemma Collins. Ooh. Even Gemma Collins. Because they know authenticity when they see it, and they know that the king has earned his stripes, and he has been devoted to his role, and they recognise the authenticity and the good humour of both of them, including Camilla. Yes, they recognise it, and it's fun to be around them, it's saucy to be around them, it's a little bit more approaching irreverence. No, that's wrong. It's not irreverence, but you know what I mean, my dear. It's approaching something a little bit more informal, but just as royal, because they have the character that will ignite royal deference in other people. But it's heartwarming to see. So that's what they get. And who do the Harkles get? Who do the Harkles get? These ones that wanted to paint themselves as new monarchs of the whole world, not just the kingdom. The whole world. Who do they get? James Corden. Ellen DeGenerate. Yes. It's short shrift, isn't it, my dears? It's cold comfort and it's short shrift, but thoroughly and utterly deserved. And as for Harry's trial, as I've said, it could go any which way but loose, any which way. But as for Mr. Justice Fancourt, presiding over the case, Justice Fancourt, he told David Sherburne yesterday, "Show me the receipts! Show me the receipts!" It's all very well and good coming to us with your sob story, my dear, but show us the receipts. We want evidence, we want facts, not feelings. He said, "Show me the evidence, not just assertions by you. give me your best 2 examples of particular evidence that Prince Harry was able to give of a particular message that he thought had been intercepted. This is your opportunity. And then Mr. Sherburne, Harry's barrister, sort of mumbled and mumbled, came out with all this word salad about the witness statement. Well, if you read the witness statement, Your Honour, I believe you would have found blah, blah, blah. Show me the receipts. Stop garbling. Stop fumbling for a hanky. I felt awfully this, I felt awfully that. I suspected this. Honey, oh, for honey child, this is a court of law. Not a court of the puke and not muchness, of Montecito, where feelings override facts, they trump facts. No, my lover, this is under His Majesty's government, where they are looking for forensic scientific proof and evidence. And if he was hacked and bugged and all this, that, and the 6,000th, that's fine. I will be happy if the court finds in his favour. But just as Mr. Justice Fancourt says, I will be happy if they take this opportunity to provide evidence and receipts. Receipts! Do you understand? Do you understand? Mirror Group newspapers said in their closing that it is impossible not to have enormous sympathy with Prince Harry for the troubles of his upbringing, which I certainly share that sympathy, but that he failed to identify examples of press hacking or unlawful information gathering. And they suggest that he's entitled to £500 compensation. £500 compensation. Now, I wouldn't normally refer to other YouTubers at all because I prefer to stay in my own lane, and I don't watch other YouTubers that report on royal-related matters or speak about royal-related things. I would rather go and read a royal-related book. But I will refer to Shallon Lester, who I wasn't aware of before, because she hit the headlines yesterday. Lots and lots about Shallon Lester, who has been threatening legal action. Yes, in the wake of the Netflix documentary. I have to say, I don't know anything about Shallon Lester, but I watched a couple of the main videos this revolves around. So I saw a very small slice of her offering of cake, and so I can't say whether or not I concur with this, I concur with that. But she's ballsy, she's sassy. I found her rather likeable and actually rather funny. So that was interesting. The other interesting thing is that she concurs with me over the Markle side of the family. Not a very great fan of them. We have that in common, which is quite rare from my understanding. So I liked that about her. But she also, what I heard, spoke a lot of sense, and she accuses Netflix of defaming and slandering her and mischaracterising her during that affair on Netflix, that tawdry show. And she was vowing to nail them to the wall, to nail a certain part of their anatomy to the wall if she is able to, legally speaking. Because amongst all the misleading stock image photographs of 6 million paparazzi, photographers trying to get a glimpse of Harry and Meghan, which we all know were stock images and nothing to do with them, they were from the Harry Potter premiere, along with all those kind of machinations that are fair game for most documentaries, not the most authentic, reliable documentaries, but you know, it's done, I understand that. They put these things together in montages, but the reason that the likes of Shallon Lester, well, or at least the likes of I, will object over that kind of affair is because they are the ones that pride themselves on not going down the misinformation route. You know, king and queen of authenticity, so exactly how it is, nothing misleading. Well, they painted their own little sketch, didn't they? through the art of memoir. Ooh la la, mes chéris. They painted their little abstract sketch. They did that in Spare. They did that on Oprah. In fact, that is their modus operandi. They do it everywhere. And they did it on the Netflix show. That was more of a bean flicks than a Netflix propaganda machine, if you ask me. But they pride themselves on no misinformation. Well, Shallon Lester says, she makes the point that it does allude to a misinformation of kinds. She says, and you know what else it is? Misinformation. Because a video clip from her YouTube channel was highlighted in a montage, alleging that 70% of 114,000 hateful posts over social media and whatnot were directed at the couple, and they came from only 83 social media accounts. And as you know, my dears, I avoid Twitter and all the socials, this kind of thing, so I don't look at that muck. I don't know what's going on at that muck. But as she says, they told us in the documentary that people are coordinating, disseminating information between themselves, these 83 wicked accounts, and they talk about trolls and seem to place her and others like her in the category of trolls. And occasionally I will notice a comment or such calling me a troll. Well, it's not accurate, is it? It's not accurate. We are creators with a point of view. We are not, well, I'll speak for myself. I'm not going to anybody else's platform and haranguing them, accusing them, trolling them. I am here on this platform speaking to you with a logical, reasoned opinion. And you might not like it, you might not agree with it, you might cherry pick what you like and what you don't, but it is a valid opinion nevertheless, isn't it, my dear? That is why I wouldn't personally ever go to anybody else's platform, whether on social media or YouTube or wherever it is, and harangue and harass them and accuse them of being trolls or doing the worst, doing the -10, when that is their business, that is their affair. Get on with it, my love. I wouldn't even look, let alone engage. Well, she did a good job of sticking up for herself. She made some good points. And she made the point that she is not part of some sort of cabal, because this seemed to be misinformation that they put out there, that there is a cabal, a group of people, mainly middle-aged white women from America. These are the ones that I think are mainly disparaged. This cabal of them that get together and disseminate images and coordinate as if Putin is at the helm of this sort of KGB affair. I ask you, seriously, what a case of rotten eggs. Rotten eggs. And talking about rotten eggs on the subject of Meghan's talent, we all know where her talent lies, don't we, my dear? In the valley between the hills. Rather like mine, really. But Jeremy Zimmer, the chief executive of United Talent Agency, says, turns out Meghan Markle is not a great audio talent, or necessarily any kind of talent. Just because you're famous doesn't make you great at something. Yes, this is the chief executive. He has represented Benedict Cumberbatch, Harrison Ford, many of the greats, I believe. It's Jeremy Zimmer. No talent, he says. No talent. Now, I did read somewhere that one of his agents has approached Meghan in the past. Then I heard it was rebuffed. So as usual, it's he said, she said. Maybe it's a case of old sourpuss for Jeremy Zimmer. But his opinion is valid. And his opinion as a chief executive of talent agencies is that she has none. She has none. None for the world of entertainment, anyway, unless you're going to include generating tabloid headlines. Oh, she's an exemplary talent at that, isn't she? Or at seducing. those that might help you climb the ladder. One rung at a time, one Todger at a time. Oh, 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 Big Willie, Big Willie. Oh. I came away with a little red Todger instead. Yes, of course I'll marry you, dear. Oh. You missed out on your target. Rachel dear, your true target, Big Willie. He was already taken and would never be mistaken, no matter how much you leap at he and his wife with your unwanted hugs. No matter how much they were like, get away, stay away, we ain't besties yet, lover. We are the future king and queen. Kiss the hand if you must through a glove, but keep your hugs to yourself for now, lover. Stop ingratiating yourself. Well, you didn't manage to hug your way into Kensington Palace and split up William and Catherine. You made do with little Todge, little second prize, little booby prize, and when you realised that you were second fiddle, which is still part of the orchestra, my love. Every orchestra needs a first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh fiddle. What's wrong with being second fiddle? Well, you couldn't handle that, could you? You wanted to be conductor royal. And first fiddle. Fiddler on the roof of the palace. If I was a rich man, if I was a rich girl, if I was a rich Dutch, weren't you, my dear? Fiddle, 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 cooking the books. No. Didn't work. Was never going to succeed. So you had to succeed. It just wasn't the sort of seed that you'd been hoping to milk, was it, my dear? No, it was from a different tree, and it wasn't Big William's oak tree. It was from a little todgy acorn. Oh, darling. Well, I can't help but feel just a smidgen sorry for you and those sloppy seconds. But that's what you got. That's what you gobbled up. And then you were left with a kingdom that you can rule. So, you and the Todger had to make a swift exit. But guess what? Guess who else made a swift exit? Taylor! Swift! Oh, just not really my cup of tea. But one thing she does know is that you do not associate or mix with the arriviste style of Meghan Markle and her podcasts, because Taylor Swift declined an invitation to Spotify, we find out. And she did it swiftly. She lived up to that name. No thanks. What's this envelope with the curlicued writing? Very bizarre, very bizarre. What's this? Oh, it's her. Of course it is. I should have seen it coming. It's sprayed with her scent. Woo! Eau de Ragland. Let me just perfume my letters and curlicue. And I'll dispatch it to my office. Excuse me, office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. That's Prince Harry and Meghan. I mean, that's Meghan and Prince Harry. Princess Meghan and Harry. Dispatch this letter to Taylor Swift. Now that I have sprayed it with my perfume and dispatched it on. Well, Taylor Swift got a whiff, and she made a shift. And that shift was to say, no, I don't want to come on your crummy old podcast. I don't want to come on your crummy old podcast. It stinks to high heaven. Thank you for joining me for a little kiki, my dears. I hope you have a lovely day. I look forward to your company in the next broadcast, and do leave me a nice juicy comment. And my tip jar, if you enjoyed the kiki, is in the description box below. And I think I will spend any proceeds from the privy purse on a nice refreshing cocktail, because I am going through the gigs. I am going through the gigs with this hot summer, and for all kinds of reasons, to be honest with you, my dears. But I did my very best to deliver something today rather than nothing. So it is what it is. I will see you next time, my lovers. Take care and toodle.